Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Weaves of Waves. It's a little bit overcast and chilly this morning. That's never mind. We had a beautiful weekend. Went to the market, went to a car boot sale. It's like, ooh, hello you. Remember him? Remember my boy? He's been very affectionate and very loving. Yes. But there we go. I'm going to leave him to go off to do some gardening soon. So I wanted to get a video in just to say hi. And I've just watched a video on perception. Now, it was quite interesting because it was from a spiritual point of view. So yeah, I read a lot of sort of science stuff, and I prefer the science point of view. But then sort of my old sort of New Age hippies, a long time ago I was into the sort of the New Age stuff and the spirituality. And I just came full circle because a lot of the New Age stuff doesn't work for me. Now, I'm fine if it works for other people. I'm not a problem with it. But when the shit hit the fan in my life, the New Age stuff didn't work for me. So all the love, light and fluffy angels and channeling and spirituality, it wasn't there. It wasn't real. It doesn't come charging like a knight in shining armor to rescue you. You can do all the mind mantras and all of the things that, you know, call on the angels and all the spirits, and so you can do all of that, and when the shit hits the fan, they aren't there. Well, they weren't there for me. So it was like, well, this is an absolute waste of time because I kind of only need them when the shit hits the fan. So yeah, so watching a video on somebody who was channeling their guides, it was really kind of cool, but I think her inner intuition could do it just as well. But that was my opinion. But as I said, it's not a bad thing to channel things, but it just makes it sound really kooky. It's like, well, I don't believe in his invisible friends. There are things on the spectrum we can't see, absolutely, but there's nobody in my head except me. I have many aspects of self, but yeah, I don't talk to invisible friends inside my head. And but I will say it's a good form of listening to things that are part of you. Perhaps you haven't integrated them yet. So I don't knock it, I just don't find it works for me very well. And I have respect for the people that come up with the information. I don't knock channel information. It just has no background in sort of reality a lot of the times. But if you've ever tried channeling, it's a very interesting thing. I did sort of something tried to possess me once, and so I have a very strong respect for it. My body went kind of numb, and half of it sort of started to get number and number and number, and I was like, help! And I had to go away and deal with it by myself. So do I believe in possession and stuff like that? Absolutely. 100% yes. So there are beings out there that can possess your body, and they can hurt you. They can mess around with your head. And I'm not saying they talk inside my head, because there is nobody inside my head except for me. But they can fuck you over, basically. And it's about being discerning. It's about raising up your vibration strong enough that can't happen. It did happen to me once, and I'm grateful for the lesson, because I learnt how to not allow that sort of shit. Basically, I can play around with an awful lot of what we would call spirits. These are not invisible friends, I would say beings from other dimensions. I see an awful lot. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, because the video I watched was all about perception. And it was all about how her guides were telling her how to perceive stuff and how we will. Now, her way of perceiving the world is different from mine. So already I couldn't find common ground, because it was like her starting point was like not mine. So, okay, just still listen for the information. Let's not knock it just because I can't ground there. Because I'm blind as bat. I always have been. Even when I had laser eye treatment, it lasted for 6 years, and now I'm short-sighted, right? So I can't see things far away without glasses. You've seen me when I drive, I wear glasses. So I learnt from a very young age that I needed to see energies, fuzzy stuff around people. People leave happy trails. Yes, I tried LSD, and it was like, well, this is normal for me. This is just normal. This is normal moved into the sort of the reality world, which was kind of cool. So yes, already my perception is different from, I would say, what she was describing as her perception. So if you are 20/20 vision and you can see everything around you, wow, what a gift. I can't see facial expressions. I have to go by what energies they're emitting. So that from the start, if I want to see on one level, I just take my glasses off and I can see all kinds of colours swirling around people. People say, what colour am I? All colours. So right from the start, my perception, my vision has been different from people. And I think that probably was where I went different anyway. I'm not saying I'm special in any way. I'm saying it was compensation for being as blind as a bat. And they didn't catch it until I was sort of 16, 17. So I'd spent a couple of years sitting in front of the class, squinting at the blackboard, copying off my friends, because I couldn't see the blackboard. So it was all overcompensation for being blind. But perception is such a concept. It's not just vision. It's not just the input that we are getting from our eyes. My hearing is acute, okay? I can hear things way too much, and I often have to sort of put headphones on, and put sort of noise-deafening earplugs in, because it's like somebody smacks me when they play something too loud, or when a child screams. My hearing is way too acute, and that again is overcompensation. I can pick up an awful lot with touch as well. For many years I didn't like to touch people. It used to make me shudder, and then I learned acupuncture, and then I went even further with it. I went on to massage, and I learned how to pick up blocked energies and smooth them out. And yeah, it was a good lesson, but you also pick up an awful lot of shit, so you get cringy. Yeah, my whole energy field started sort of getting full of other people's stuff rather than my own, and it's very difficult to keep all that clean. Nature, creativity, humour, that sort of thing, sex, all that sort of thing helps to keep your energy bodies clean. But I don't like touching somebody wide open and picking up stuff. It's very hard work to be around people when you're hypersensitivity. And I also smell things, like everything stinks sometimes, and it's like, nah. And taste I can't do heavy duty strong flavors. I'm learning to like curry. I'm learning to like things like coffee, and it's like, okay, it'll get there. I'll get there slowly, because I need to open up, and I need to be adapting. I need to evolve, and I can't let my sensitivities get in the way. And they often say, oh, this is on the spectrum. Okay, fair enough. I've never been spectrumized, but I probably am. The senses to me are very hard work to deal with. You go into overload, overwhelm, if not careful. But perception encompasses all of that. What do you perceive? And I learnt that it's not all just done by the senses. I can't rely on my eyes. My eyes will give me all kinds of things that I know other people can't see. So I often get wary of sharing what I can see, because you get that she's strange look. Yeah, she is strange, just get over it. But perception is a heartfelt thing. Perception is taking into account what all your senses are, and then seeing it with your heart, and your mind can share in that. So when I used to do readings, when I used to be a tarot and crystal ball reader, I used to see with my heart and open up, and I used to come out with the most weird and wonderful statements. It was like, wow. And people go, oh my God, how did you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't tell you. That's what I just see. So, and also it's this non-judgmental, because you can see an awful lot of shit, but you also see the reasons why. Even if you don't understand them intellectually, you can see the emotions that were there at the time people make choices or did stuff or said stuff. And you can actually understand the reasons why, because the emotions is there, and they were confused. There was absolute mud-filled reason. It was all bogged down, and it was heavy, and people feel it. And you kind of, maybe I'm too forgiving. I kind of understand it. it's like you look carefully, you look at them and you think, yeah, I can see why you did that. It's all right. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm not going to judge or shame. I'm just going to understand. And I do when people say or do stuff that is stupid or unkind or nasty. Most of the time you can see the real thing. A lot of and also good 80% of the time they don't mean it. If they mean it, then they're being a bitch and they can fuck off. But if most of the time they didn't mean it that way. It just came out that way. And that again is a form of perception. It is seeing deeper, seeing into the heart of things. And it's tough. It's tough when you get your own stuff in the way. So it's like you want to burst into tears. Oh, it's mean. That's unkind. And then you think, see deeper, perceive deeper, and think, okay, they didn't mean it personally. They don't know me that well. They can't sort of judge me on that level. Fair enough. Let's just move on. So with this video, I'm asking you to perceive with your heart rather than your eyes, because the eyes are judgmental as hell. All right? The eyes just see black and white, all the shades of colour in between, but mostly they'll go to extreme. The eyes judge. They're very good at that. Oh yeah, you nasty piece of work. Yeah, not you don't mean that, you're fake. Yes, the eyes judge. Look deeper, perceive deeper. And also with the video, you know, it is a matter of practice to tune into your higher self. If you want guides, that's fine, you know, it is part of your higher self. But again, discernment. So in other words, use your heart to see and perceive what is guiding you. Where are you getting your news from? Where are you getting your information? How does it feel to you? Because that's important too. That's all part of perception. So that's all I have today. I love you lots. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.